Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. This is the second video that I'm doing on this topic. It is Senate Bill 344. Senate Bill 344. It's S.344. That is the Major Richard Starr Act. This is an article from military.com. I wanted to share it with you. The headline is Bill Allowing Disabled Veterans to Collect Full Benefits Gets New Push from Supporters on Capitol Hill. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I truly appreciate it. The two asks are really, look, hit the thumbs up, let the video run if you have the ability to do so. I get it, it takes time, and I understand. But that is what helps to push this out further so folks are aware. If you support the Major Richard Starr Act, reach out to your congressional representatives and let them know that you support it and you hope that they are a co-sponsor if you're not sure, right? You can ask their staffer, is Senator so-and-so or congressional member so-and-so supporting the Major Richard Starr Act? Are they a co-sponsor? And then if they are, great. And if they're not, hey, get on it. All right, so let's jump into it here. Bill allowing disabled veterans to collect the full benefits gets that new push. This is on military.com, and let's jump into it. Leading lawmakers and veterans groups are renewing their push for a bill that would dramatically expand benefits for veterans injured in combat. The Major Richard Starr Act, as the bill is called, would ensure all service members who medically retire have full access to both military retirement pay and Department of Veterans Affairs disability benefits. The bill had some momentum last year, but since stalled, so they're looking to revive it some. Now, for those that don't know, what happens is if you are medically retired prior to your 20-year mark, and right, we'll use an example. You did 16 and a half years, you got injured or whatever, and now you are medically retired from whatever branch of service. Great. Let's just pretend, for just an easy example, your retirement pay is $3,500 a month. So great, you get $3,500 a month, and now you file for your VA disability compensation, which obviously you got injured in service, so that's going to be pretty much a no-brainer. And in my opinion, they should definitely be on the higher side. Let's just assume that it's $1,500 a month. So now you're getting $1,500 a month from disability compensation. However, you don't get to have both because of this crazy verbiage that's in here. What you get is you get $1,500 of your retirement pay tax-free. So, or you could say your retirement pay is reduced, and then you get to get your VA money. So either way, you are not walking away whole, and it's very sad. If somebody does 20 years and they have over a 50% rating, they get to have both full disability and full retirement. And then obviously if you did less than that, if you're not retired, you just have your VA compensation. So let's jump back into this here. It goes on to say, but veteran service organizations on Capitol Hill this week, and lawmakers from both parties who are sponsoring the bill are now vowing to keep fighting until the bill crosses the finish line. We're not going to stop until we fix this injustice, and that's a great word, injustice for veterans and their loved ones, Senate Veterans Affairs Committee Chairman John Tester said at a news conference Tuesday, I believe it was the 5th, Tuesday the 5th of March 2024. And alongside a throng of veterans is the word they used. Moving on, I know that VSOs and the veteran community can come together and they can help us get this done, Tester added. I saw it with the PACT Act. We saw veterans step up and make a big difference, and actually the truth is got the bill passed in the United States Senate. We're going to have to do it again with the Major Richard Starr Act, and that's why I say, look, you have the veteran service organizations in DC that are pounding tables. We, as the constituency out here in the States, need to pound on the desk in the actual districts for our congressional representatives. All right, moving on. Right now, veterans with fewer than 20 years of service and disability ratings of less than 50% have their retirement pay reduced by $1 for every dollar of disability pay they get. Those rules mean an estimated 50,000 retirees are ineligible for concurrent benefits. The average offset was about $1,900 per month in 2022, according to the Congressional Budget Office. The Major Richard Starr Act would remove those restrictions so that all retirees with combat-related disabilities can collect their full retirement and disability benefits. The bill's namesake was an Iraq and Afghanistan veteran who was forced to retire before 20 years of service after he was diagnosed with lung cancer he developed following burn pit exposure. Major Richard Starr died from cancer in 2021. By far, Richard's greatest goal was to pass this, his widow, Tanya Starr, said at Tuesday's news conference. These men and women earned their retirements the hard way. And Richard made himself, along with many of you, promise that we would not stop until we got this done. It hasn't been an easy road to travel. I know many of you, like myself, were in the offices today advocating for this bill. I cannot thank you enough for all of your support. We are closer than we have ever been. We're going to get this done this year. Now that was Major Richard Starr's widow, Tanya Starr. Basically, she is carrying the torch, right, and helping to be the face, essentially, since her late husband is the namesake of the bill. So moving on, the bill, which falls under the jurisdiction of both the Veterans Affairs and Armed Services Committees, was advanced out of the House Armed Services Committee last year. It has also garnered more than 320 co-sponsors in the House and more than 70 in the Senate, with the most recent just happening, I believe, on, I think it was the 6th. Despite the broad bipartisan support, there has been no momentum on the bill since the House committee vote amid questions about how it would be paid for. The Congressional Budget Office has projected the legislation could cost an estimated $9.7 billion in what's known as mandatory spending over the next decade. But supporters of the bill argue the country owes the benefits to its veterans regardless of cost. I agree. Supporters said they are hoping to get this legislation attached to the annual defense policy bill that will move through Congress later this year. And if that doesn't work, look for any other legislative vehicle they can find. We're not going to rest until we pass the Major Richard Starr Act. Rep. Gus Bilirakis, Republican from Florida, the lead House sponsor, said at the news conference, this is a righteous cause. And I agree with that as well. And I also had reached out to DC and had conversations with some staffers there regarding this a while back. And they did state that, look, if we can't pass it as a standalone, we'll look for another piece of legislation that we can kind of dovetail it into and have it passed that way. So hoping that this gets moving forward. And again, if you have support for this, reach out to your congressional member. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.